In this video, I'm going to share on 4 ways on how I got focused and less distracted, and I'm going to have a bonus at the end. So let's get started on the first one, which is to plan your quarter and month. So a lot of times, this is what I've experienced, is that most people think what they want to achieve along the way, which I've done before, and that's, I mean, good progress. But at the same time, it's better to plan, right? So there is a saying from Warren Buffett that idiot with a plan will achieve more than a genius without, because essentially you need direction, you need to focus, because after doing 7 years of entrepreneurship and whatnot, it's a bit hard for you to understand what you need to do without any planning. So you plan to fail, you fail to plan, you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Yes, that's the code, right? So generally right now what I do is just to plan. Don't need to think so much, have a rough idea, because most of the time what I've experienced is that your plan will change, because according to the results that you've gotten, then you just maybe continue, because you might not put in a lot more effort or repetitions in it, or you can pivot, right? But generally it's better to plan first for a bit only and just start, because most of the time it's very normal to fail, right? And in essence, that's part of being an entrepreneur, or even being someone who wants to do something very different. And that is something that I have gotten used to, and sometimes I'm also a bit afraid of, like, just doing this as well. So that is where I would say progress is better than perfect, because eventually the more you progress, the more better you get. So Ray Dalio says progress is equal to pain plus reflection. So you need to go through some pain, and then you also need to reflect what you did well and what you didn't do well. And that's something that I have constantly been doing so far. And that's why I am, in a way, trying to get more progress in, rather than just plan, right? And sometimes I do plan for a bit, but yeah, lah, it's just part of the process, right? So that's how I usually go for it. So the next one is time block. So recently, it's just a few days ago, actually, this Monday, I saw Leila Homozi's video on time blocking, and then, or post about time blocking, and I was like, okay, let me try that. And the thing is that it was actually pretty good, because number one, I knew exactly what I need to do every single day. So this is like a rough idea of how it looks like. And generally you think, oh, Haris is busy. It's like, kind of, but in essence, like, now I know what I need to do. And the thing is that how I did it was at 5 a.m., because I wanted to wake up at 5 and sleep early, because generally it's a better way for me to work, because it fits into what I want to do lah every single day, which is to work until 6 p.m., 5 p.m., and I can do whatever I want after that: rock climbing, running, chilling as well. So this helped a lot, because number one, I know exactly what I need to do, and number two is that I know how long each task take. And most of the time, I I plan. The thing is that I just plan. I didn't have uh, what exactly I need to do every single day, but I just plan out. I was like, okay, maybe I'll do this, I'll do that. Eventually I realize a task actually takes longer than expected, which is very normal as well. And there are things that I think I shouldn't do, and there are things that I needed to do along the days that I have already planned, which is amazing, because in the end, I think one good trait to have is adaptability, right? You need to adapt to what you actually want and how you want to execute. So for me, I mean, you see from the slides itself, I'm using my company or my business slides template, EduGrow. So I'm planning out a month by month basis. Next month, I'm going to launch a free trial for my pro group. And then that is February, which is this month. And then next month will be like the actual execution of the pro group, which is a free trial. And then after that, it will be me asking for money, and hopefully people pay, right? This kind of thing. So that is essentially what I'm planning every single month. And now I need to do the task that I need to achieve, what I want to achieve every single month as well. And for that, you need to also go down to the day by day as well. And that's why I feel that has been a mind-blowing way for me to actually plan on what to do next, which I think is amazing. So today is Sunday. I'm going to plan the next days as well. Leila Homozi mentioned that you can do it on Monday. She called it Monday hour. Oh, I remember it's an email. Monday hour, 1 hour to just plan every single day what you need to do. And you know what's the best part? She said that you go to every single employer and see what they are going to do. It's not micromanaging, but essentially it gives you a good sense of what they are using their time to do on the task. Because this is just my personal opinion, you if you are paying a full-time salary, you are expecting them to put in 40 hours of work. Like that is a full-time salary, right? 40 hours means 8 hours for 5 days, 40 hours. And that's essentially how I believe that I want to in a way know what they're doing in a 1 week plan, so that it's like, okay, great, you've already planned. Like for me, what's more important, at least you plan your week and then you just execute because I trust in you. But I want to know that you've already planned what you need to do versus just waffling around, and that's not worth the money that I spend on a full-time salary. That's the thing, right? So that's time block, which I think is amazing. Next one is timer. So I've already been doing this for many years when I'm doing my own thing, whether it's doing a business or freelance, right? So a timer essentially to me helped a lot. I think Alex Omozi also shared that actually putting a timer actually helped him to just be focused on the task at hand, because you know how much time you spent wasting time or doing a task. And that's very, very good, because you want to get better on knowing how long it takes for something to be done, right? So running a timer that you can actually see. I recommend you to actually see how much of time you actually spend. So I use this thing called Clockify, and it's you can actually download the app on your Mac. I don't know about Windows, but I think it should have, and it's on the top bar. So I literally can see how much time I'm spending on working. Right. So right now it's like 28 minutes. Sometimes it goes to 2 hours, maybe the longest like 3 hours. And then that's where I know that I'm working. Then if I'm distracted, then that's where I also know that the timer is clocking down how much I'm being distracted. This gives a good idea of like I should, and it gives accountability and pressure for me to just be focused. So you know how much of time you wasted. I think a lot of people underestimate how much time you wasted. So for me, I work like 12 hours, right? And then sorry about that. And then you could see that from that almost 12 hours of like me from 5 a.m. to maybe 5 p.m., right? You can see how much of work I actually done, 7 hours and 40 minutes, but how much of break I take, 3 hours, 21 minutes. And the thing is that it's not to pressure yourself, okay, I should take less break. It's just to be aware. So like now you know that maybe I should work a little bit more and have less break. And sometimes you need the break cause mental clarity, which I totally understand. And the thing is that it gives you a better realistic idea of what is your productive hours versus your non-productive hours. And this is a ratio like, okay, in general, 70% of whatever time I have is going to be productive, 30% will be not. And that's where you can either improve the ratio or you can just like increase the hours, right? Because sometimes, on every single day I track my hours, then you know how. And sometimes you don't work 12 hours, sometimes you work 5 hours because many reasons, right? So these are things, because once you're aware, it helps you to know what to improve on. For example, if you want to improve on your weight, you just track your weight. If you want to improve how productive you are, just track how productive, which is in essence how much of hours you put into work. That's it. All right. So the next one is after a timer, hire an admin, right? So generally, when I say hire an admin, I mean my problem back then, well, right now also, is actually spending too much time scheduling a post because it takes like maybe an hour or so. So for me, it's like an hour is like, and it's like mentally draining. So it's not even the hours that I care about. It's like it's mentally draining because I want to do more creative stuff or stuff that actually move the needle or have a higher impact on the business that I'm doing right now. So the solution is to just hire admin, and I just post on LinkedIn as well. So you can see over here, and it's a part-time admin, and I'm paying in ringgit. So it's like it's a currency arbitrage, meaning that I'm paying overseas employees or part-timers at a cheaper rate against my currency. And the thing is that there were a lot of people who applied. So just to share the numbers is that I've done 2 posts on LinkedIn. over 100 people applied because they maxed out at 50. And then I reached out to every single people who applied to apply to my own job form. So after the job form, then after that, I will vet whether they actually go through the form and done it exactly what I'm looking for, right? If they don't care, they usually don't fill up the form well, right? If they do, then they fill up the form. Then after that, I'll give them I call it a job assessment. So it filters down. So once somebody submitted a job assessment, I see whether it's good or not. If it's good, then I will have them do a job trial, a 1 day job trial, and this gives me a good sense of how is it working with them in a day. Because generally, from my experience, if you know how they work from the first day, it's generally how they're gonna work for the rest of the days. Lah. Maybe the first day is like okay, very important, but it's like the first day 100% and then most of the days 80%. So it's a good sense of how it looks like, right? So to me, my personal opinion as a founder myself as well, I believe the focus as someone who's doing solo right now is to focus on sales, marketing, and delivering. Admin, just put it out there, right? Just have someone hire, be good at hiring, because if whatever you're doing is very good and you need someone to do your delivering or your marketing, you know how to hire, you know how to vet, because hiring can make or break, right? There's many stories that people hired, they don't like the hire, they think hiring is not for them, it's just a skill, right? So these are things that to take note of. All right, so the last thing, a bonus, right, that I've shared in the first few seconds is that get a four-wall boring office, right? Right now, I'm in a very literally there's no one here. It's four walls. It's very like, it's like. But the thing is that I'm a boring person. I don't really care about open spaces, co-working space. Like I've done that before. I've worked in public places. I've tried working in public places. I've worked in a co-working place as well. And the thing is that number one, most of the time they're not 24/7. Number two is that there's a lot of movement, which is very distracting. And then I also didn't, put inside the slides, but essentially there are people talking. And the thing is that some people can block out. I can't. Right? If you can, great. I cannot. I need someone. I need a space to shut the f up so that I can focus on the work. Right? I have four walls so that literally nothing distracts me except for the work. My work should be the only distraction. Yes, I have phones, right? Sometimes I that get distracted for a few minutes, but that's it. Then I get back to work and I actually do the freaking work. So I got a four-wall boring office, right? It's not like the office is not mine, it's a shared desk, but no one is having that desk over here. So great, I have the whole office to me at a discounted price. And I like for the past 3 months I really do get things done, right? And the thing is it's 24/7, right? Because I paid for this place and I can access, so I can work every single day, which is great. In a public place I need to wait for the place to be open, and then I cannot work until late if I need to, right? And that's something that a lot of people don't know lah, right? And if you want to work not work in the weekends, great, all right? But I want to work every single day, and there's no distraction. Literally see this whole place, no distraction at all right? It cost me $450 per month. Is that a good investment? Of course, because if I were to work at home, then I have my loving parents who are distracting, or and sometimes they do quarrel here and there, and my mood will just be affected because like we humans pick up emotions and things around, so it reduces that a lot. And second thing is that you know they have free coffee no lah, but essentially it's like I can just do the work, all right, don't have any distractions, be myself most of the time as well, right? So these are things that I've already, after 7 years of working as an employee, being a founder, being a freelancer, actually have worked a lot, because a lot of times what needs to be done can get blocked. So just to summarize, the four things that worked for me is to plan whatever things I need to do quarter, month. I only like plan for 2 quarters. That's I like couldn't plan longer than that because I don't know what will happen. I just started out, right? Time block, I think that's like the best thing. So after this I'm gonna do time blocking. Timer, that's the best accountability thing that you can do, that actually I think I will say this with like full passion, that will actually make you not get distracted. And lastly, hire admin, which I've already done before, and that helped a lot in terms of doing the work that helped move the business. So with that said, if you like this video, give a thumbs up. And if you want more of this kind of videos, subscribe down below and comment down what are things that you're going to implement in your current business. So with that said, see you in the next one. Bye bye.